All right. Let's see. See if I can pull up the chat. Oh, sweet. How's it going? I think Grassfax is already back home. I think he's in Utah, is where I believe he's from. Sweet. Awesome. I'm actually laid over in between flights, so I'll have to board a flight. Oh my gosh, there's a hummingbird. Oh, that was cool. I saw a hummingbird. Laid over right now, so I'll be doing a recap kind of real quick here on SHOT Show in terms of some things that really stuck out to me, some things that were kind of like, meh. To be honest, a lot of the show was kind of, you see the same stuff, it's just either slightly modified or the same stuff. So there are some things though that I do want to talk about that I thought were pretty flippin' cool and exciting actually. It's not a lot, but there are some things. So for those who aren't aware, SHOT Show just concluded. The last day is actually today. I'm flying back home, laid over, and so I'll just jump right into it. I was going to wait for some folks to kind of come in here, but it seems like we got enough people. So right off the bat, we'll go from the first portion. What was the number one thing that stood out to me at SHOT Show? Number one thing that stood out. There's a company called Ambient Arms, and they came out in January on the 1st, brand new company. They have been in development and kind of building things behind the scenes all last year, and they are producing a suppressor. Now, what's cool about the suppressor, you guys may have seen it already online. It was one of the coolest things at the show because it was just super innovative, but it reduces the way that it's designed. It's almost like a jet where it sucks in cold air from outside into the suppressor and cools the suppressor down by 75%. So they have an Econel version, they have titanium, I think they have 5.56, 22, and a pistol suppressor. Super awesome guys, very nerdy. So there were some things that went right over my head because I'm just a rock eater. So, but essentially on the shoot day, you could actually, they would run the gun on full auto with like 30 rounds in one of their videos, and then they grab the suppressor and hold it, like, which is nuts. There was, I guess, guys, they were doing 5-round shots, but like a lot of guys would like put 5 rounds in to the mag, shoot it. Next guy would have the next 5 rounds, shoot it, and they were like, "This is insane! Like, you can hold the suppressor." So there's already a lot of eyes that were on that. A lot of other companies are very, very interested. And to be honest, like, I've been super. I've been kind of tired of like talking about suppressors, to be honest, because they're, low back pressure, they sound good and tone and flash and stuff like that. It's a lot of the same thing. And now you see, especially at this show, there's a lot of companies that are not suppressor companies that just bought printers, and now all of a sudden they're printing suppressors, which is good. But it's good for the Second Amendment. However, for you as a customer, you just have to be smart in terms of what you're going to be buying. Do your research. Don't just buy the hype. Please don't buy the hype. But Ambient, like I said, looks very promising. And there are companies that will kind of fluff things up a little bit for SHOT. I don't think that they're that way because, one, they're Christian, so I kind of already have a feeling that they'll have good integrity. But that is something that will be tested in 2026 by the channel. So hopefully we'll be able to get those in soon and start running that and actually showcase, is this really a reality? If that's the case, then having a suppressor that is able to stay cooler for a longer period of time lowers your signature, Supposedly has really good flash reduction, like really good flash reduction. It has good tone, good sound, and also it's not going to heat up. It's not going to glow under night vision. So all of those things are great. Keeps the barrel cool, which is actually kind of wild because it's actually sucking all the heat from there and almost being like a what's that thing called? Like a radiator for your barrel. It's pretty wild. Usually it would be the suppressor that heats the barrel up faster. Now the suppressor is actually helping cool the barrel down. It's crazy. So the other suppressor that really stuck out to me was Griffin Armament has a new HRT design. They have a new blend of like a metal. It's like I think Austin, who's one of the owners, is like a super nerd and made some super special blend of metal that's stronger than a lot of the Inconel type stuff and steel that's being used in 3D printed suppressors right now. So it's a lot more durable, a lot more resistant to heat. It's just better all around. And supposedly it's super epic. The HST also did have a reduction of heat design. So not like the ambient where it's sucking in ambient air, but it has almost like like radiator fins on the back. So that way it's kind of bleeding that heat off. So a reduction of heat by 30% is what they're advertising. And also they're going to be doing a lot more 3D printed designs, Inconel, still low flash signature, low signature reduction, that type of thing is what they're shooting for. With that being said, I'm really hoping that they're actually going to start pushing out their SR25 gate lock over the barrel suppressor. I know that they were doing it in limited runs. And the reason why I say that is Palmetto State is releasing an SR25 clone that finally has a gate lock gas block. So now you can put the suppressor over top of the barrel and do the gate lock. They had the, M110 clone at home. That's what I did a video on a while back. It was adjustable gas block. Now it's going to have a gate lock capability. And AAC is also going to be developing a clone of that suppressor. So now you'll be able to get it. I'm really hoping that Griffin will be able to ramp up production on making that, because now it's not going to be something that's going to be a niche item. It's going to be something that Palmetto State is going to make in mass production. So that's really, really cool. As far as some other ones, the NX6 line from Night Force looks legit. What I didn't know is that the SHV, which you guys have heard me talk about in the DIY Sniper video, which is their entry level optics, like right in around $900 to $1,000, allows you to get into the MIL-XT reticle. Really, really cool. But they're discontinuing that, and the NX6 is actually going to be bridging the gap. So you're going to get almost NX8 quality glass. You're going to get all these different reticle types. They have a 2-12 that they're going to be releasing. The NX8 and the Attacker line is going to be sticking around, so it's not going to go anywhere. There are plans to do some stuff in the future for those lines as well, so stay tuned for that. That's what they were talking about me. I can't really go into much detail about that. But the NX6 is legit, dude. It looks super promising. I mean, price ranging from, I believe it was $1,400. I think nothing goes over $2,200. So, like, it's a really good range of pricing. Like, you're looking at, I think the 2-12, don't quote me on this, but I think it's going to be around like $1,500. It's going to be almost, I think, almost cheaper than a primary arms PLXC. So now you're getting a 2-12 GPR SPR reticle. You're going to have a bunch of different options and a BDC inside of the 1-6 LPBO that they're going to be releasing. So really cool that Night Force is releasing that type of stuff. They have some really things that are exciting coming down the line. So super excited to kind of showcase those things for you guys as well. Griffin Armament, kind of going back to them, they also have an update to the Mark II, the Mark II series. So now they're going to be creating like a keyhole notch into the upper receiver, so its anti-rotation quality is going to be on the handguard. So now it's not going to rotate at all. It's going to be actually keyholed and put into the upper receiver, so it's going to be super rock solid. Hopefully they'll be able to get one of those out soon. I'm going to be sending my Mark II CQB back here soon. Hopefully it's over 50,000 rounds on that thing, so I'm going to send that back to them so they can chop it, look at it, and be like, what was wearing out and all that type of stuff for science, right? Something else that was cool was actually not even at the show. They weren't even there. But at the Ambient Arms booth, there's a company called Robinson Arms. I reached out to the owner. Hopefully, I had never even heard of this company, and supposedly they're very, very old, like 20 years old. They were actually a part of putting in products for the SCAR program, and it was actually beating the SCAR and some other, I believe, the ACR for the SCAR program. But I think they forgot, like, that didn't realize there was a BFA that was required, a blank firing adapter option that was required, so they were disqualified. Like, it was outperforming that gun. Such a petty thing when you work in government contracts. But they had at the Ambient Arms booth a Robinson Arms, short stroke piston operated, SCAR, and it had everything that you would want. I mean, 4.5 pound trigger. It had quick barrel change options. It had non-reciprocating charging handle, adjustability in the gas, flared magwell, bolt lock and bolt release is actually like a by the trigger guard, so it's like an H&K mag release, like old style, but you can lock the bolt open to the rear ambidextrous mag release. Like, everything was awesome, and they weren't even at the show. So hopefully I can kind of show you guys that. I really hope that they'll be able to reach out, because I think more people should know about it. And the price point is much better than the SCAR. I'm not gonna lie, I stopped by the FN booth. The SCAR was anticlimactic. Looks cool, but the problem is they have a pencil barrel. Like, nobody's running pencil barrels anymore, unless you're shooting competition or something like that. And it just, I don't know. It kind of, and it's for the 308 and for the SCAR 16 5.56 running a pencil barrel, and it doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of out of touch. So hopefully they have, a regular profile barrel or a heavier profile barrel, which is what a lot of people are going to anyways, because we want that barrel to stay, not heat up as fast. We want that consistency and accuracy. We want that durability. And if you want capability, it's going to come with weight. So it's kind of disappointing. Of course, it's going to be extremely outrageously expensive, but it is what it is. OpsCore has some really cool stuff coming down the pipe. So they amp, which, if you remember the amp arms in the past, they would, put your on your helmet so you can have your ear pro on there. It was either all the way on or all the way off, and so you look like flipping Mickey Mouse. Now 3M Peltor had their version, and it was able to pop and hover off the ear, which is the one thing that 3M Peltor had over OpsCore in terms of their helmet-mounted arms for hearing protection and comms on your helmet. Now, OpsCore has the hover mode on the amp arm, so that way it pops off and hovers, so that way you can still hear comms, you can let your air breathe, and you don't look like flipping Mickey Mouse. So, really cool. About time. I'm super excited to see what they've got going on in terms of, there's some other stuff that is actually a lot, really out of a lot of people's price range, but they did say, hey, as this thing is out for longer, the price will be going down. And that is the ARC system. So it's a completely powered rail system, flashlight, your umbrella light, your Petzl red light, your core survival strobe, all integrated into the arms. There's also a plug-in, so you can plug your night vision directly into the arms. Price point is outrageous because it's for government type entities. However, if you can afford it, it's pretty sweet. However, I'm hopeful, however, the longer that it's out, the more that other people continue to innovate, you're going to see a drop in that price. And now that might be something that's the future for helmets and loadouts for prepared citizens. Now it frees up all that rail space. You don't have as much crap all over your head hanging off and lumps and stuff like that. And you're able to streamline that. But it is pretty pricey. The other one that was really cool, QuadTech Systems had a lot of cool stuff in the drone space. They're coming out with their own FPV drone that can be used by operators. Very rugged, very easy to replace props and stuff like that. Nocturne Industries has some really cool stuff where they're going to be adding in cameras and essentially thermal fusion into their quads. Now, that's outside of a lot of people's price range, but we're starting to see that quads are starting to come down as they become more and more common. In my opinion, I think fusion goggles are going to be much more effective in terms of, or more valuable for a lot of folks in the prepared citizen space or in general, where you have thermal overlay inside your tubes. there are a lot of companies working on that, but Nocturne Industries is still kind of pushing the envelope of innovation on that front. So hopefully they'll do some stuff with us with the channel so we can showcase that to you guys and actually test it. Like I hate seeing stuff that's like not tested or just worn for like a photo shoot. It's retarded. Nobody likes it. We know that like I can't trust the item if we're not putting it through the paces and just like running it hard. So hopefully they'll be willing to take that risk to be able to showcase the durability of their goggles. But yeah, the other thing also that was really cool is Lima 6. Got to see those guys. Super excited to see what Red Right Hand's going to be pushing out with their build with Lima 6 and their collaboration. Red Right Hand is actually developing a new handguard for the RPD, the Prepared Citizen RPD. They're also working with another company. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. I apologize if he's watching this, the owner, but really fascinating company. They're making a Lima 6 lower that accepts, 50 round, 100 round ammo cans, 200 round, or 200 round ammo cans for belts. So really excited to see where that goes. They should be sending out a unit for us to be able to run and to be able to just run it hard. So excited to see, is this something that's viable for a lot of people? I know it's also still expensive. So we really want to run it hard. However, it's not Fight Light expensive. Fight Light is kind of like that screw you type of pricing. So we're saying, okay, fine, whatever. And plus, we want to talk about things that is in the realm of what a lot of people can afford. Now, okay, sweet. So I'm still coming through clear. Let me get this out of my ear. A lot of really cool modules. Their plate carrier, it can also scale down to test rig, or you can also remove the plate bag really, really quickly if you're going to be running a rough. So, for example, also those are going to plate carriers visible, so you can actually take your plate carrier, your plate bag off the back really quick, put your rush on, you still got a front plate, and now you're able to kind of run with it. While still having the stuff that they're doing in terms of pellet carrier, very, very new, very cool. And honestly, I think it's going to be a big competitor to like the next product. So if you guys are looking at plate carriers or anything like that, definitely check them out. It's a little bit pricey, but the quality is really, really good. There are some other companies out there that are putting stuff out that I think is a lot more expensive and not as good. You might be able to figure out today or who they are. Now, my last one I wanted to talk about is if you guys have any questions about something, let me go, hey, please check this out or put a question in the comments. Audio got worse? No. Okay. Move your mic, lower the comments, head removal, kill the mic, hook down. All right, sweet. All right, well, what did you guys hear last? I'll talk about that, and then we'll end up seeing if there's anything that you guys had questions about. Agilite, I've never run their stuff. They reached out, but to be honest, I've got really good relationships with other companies like Wetworks. They're all American made. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm really trying to stay American made. If it's one of those things where it's like, hey, a foreign company and it's a really good idea or really good for the community to know about, I'll do it. But like, I'm really trying to push on, work with American companies and just support America. Okay, all right, here we go. So, what ARC, the ARC carrier from Shaw Concept, if you're looking at plate carrier, they have a really cool scalable carrier system now. Now it's all integrated. It can go down to a chest rig. You can also remove the plate bags really easily. So you could say, for example, you're wearing a ruck with your plate carrier. You can actually remove the back plate like within like 30 seconds. Throw it in your rucksack, put your ruck on, and now you're rocking at least a front plate and have the ruck be a lot more comfortable on your plate carrier when you're wearing a ruck with a plate carrier. Really cool. The QC on their stuff is outrageously good. You can see that every single thing that they do is intentionally thought out, and they're going to be the same price point, if not probably more, like cheaper than some of the other companies that are charging buku amounts of money for things. A lot of the bigger companies out there were honestly kind of anticlimactic. EOTech had some cool stuff. They had I think the 4 to 12, like the ACOG style first focal plane optic. Looks cool. We'll see. The EOTech dot itself, very expensive. It's all metal. I didn't know that there is actually in the EOTech, it's actually partially polymer with the EXPS3 series and the 2. I had no idea, and it's covered with a metal shroud. Now it's all aluminum or all metal, but it's a lot of money. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of ugly looking, but I can get over that if it's worth it. But it's a lot of money. The Mod Light has some cool stuff, flashlights. Kimber. Kimber also had some really cool stuff. So as you guys know, right now the 2K11 Pro, which is the 4.5 inch barrel, it's the Royale. That's in review right now. It's in testing. The 45 2K11 is also about to be tested. The 2K11 comp, though, is pretty sweet. So it looks like it has a chunk port at the end. Everything's really well thought out, very, very smooth looking. They have a 5-inch and a 4.25. What's really nice about that is it's XC pricing, or excuse me, it is literally half the price of what a Staccato XC would be. So you're getting the same thing, everything polished, ramps done right, everything. For all the 2011 nerds out there, they did everything right. They used all that ancient 1911 knowledge they've had from all the time being in business, working in that platform, and put it into the 2K11. Now you can get essentially the equivalent of a Staccato XC for half the price. I think the MSRP on it was like $2,400. So in the 2011 world, if that's what you're looking for, really, really neat. Excited to see what they're going to be pushing out. Eventually, we'll probably get our hands on that to be able to see what, how to showcase that durability and reliability and how well it runs. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Now, as far as any other companies, that's it off the top of my head. If I can think of anything else, I will definitely put it into the chat. Kind of talking about Sabre. So the Sabre 2011 looks cool. I'm not really that interested in it. I couldn't tell you. I didn't really take too much time looking at it. And that's because I'm just like, I literally am reviewing 2011s because I want to help Kimber out because they're trying to turn over a new leaf. I particularly like striker fire guns, but maybe they sent it out. It looks cool. I think there's a lot of other things that looked really cool from Palmetto this year. Their version of the PDW, like the Flux version, it had everything. Like I think it's RXM chassis, and it works with a new pistol series that they have coming out. And it has all the upgrades, like everything that you would want on a Flux that you would naturally upgrade. They've got it on theirs. So they're, depending on price point, they're going to give them a run for their money. I saw the MP7 clone at Palmetto. They're saying possibly Q3, maybe Q2, Q3. Don't quote me on that. As far as when that's going to come out, it's going to come out in 5.7. So pretty neat. I'm hopeful that will happen. They also had the underbarrel shotgun for the AR. Cool. I mean, it's kind of more of a niche thing. And then they also had their short stroke piston that is not a Jackal, supposedly better. We'll see. Jackal was not impressive. I was actually disappointed. I was super excited about that when it came out, and it didn't perform how I thought it would. So we'll see on this one if it does end up doing any better. I did go see Century Arms. They did produce quite a lot of things at the show. They have 2 bolt guns that they're releasing. They also have a suppressor line that's being released through US Palm. And what's cool, I didn't know this, but the suppressors are being OEM'd and supplied by Otter Creek. So that's really neat. Wasn't expecting that, so I'm excited to see how that goes. And then also, I believe Century just sent out their Navy variant of the SP5. So um, that will be in testing here. We're probably going to turn it into like a CIA MP5 clone from early GWAT with quad rails with from Midwest Industries. So excited to kind of showcase that one for you guys. It'd be fun. But as you guys know, and just like brass backs, love PDWs, love sub guns. They're just cool, man. So saw the Mark One from Sons of Liberty. Like everybody said, it looks good, but it's hard to ask $4,000 for an AR, man. Like, so we'll see. Like, it better be baking my bread and cleaning my shoes and emptying out the litter box or something. I don't know, but looks good. But Patrick, who's over there, good, good solid guy. He's a gun builder over there and an awesome dude. So if anything, I would want to review it just to support him because he's just an awesome person. Super strong believer and just an awesome guy all around. I think that might be it, guys. Outside of that, a lot of the other, like I said, a lot of the bigger companies really didn't have anything that exciting. Leopold did have a new spotting scope that looks really good, but when I went around to a lot of the other folks, they just didn't have anything really different. Brownells did say, I asked them about the BRN4. They're working some logistic issues and some logistic things. They're kind of have 2 parallel efforts working right now to be able to get the BRN4 back in stock and kind of get that back going. So as soon as those are back in stock and running, we'll actually probably try to get our hands on one and review it, but that will be coming back soon is what they told me. There's also going to be an update to the BRN 180, especially the 300 blackout version that's going to kind of solve some of the adjustable gas port seizing issues that they've been having that I've had issues with on the 300 blackout they sent me. But overall, like I said, it's a lot of the smaller companies that were putting out some cool stuff, man. A lot of small companies doing some innovating. A lot of the big companies are just kind of resting on their laurels. I think Ambient Arms with their cooling suppressor is going to really make a lot of waves. It's already passed the Army Research Center's testing, which is not an easy test. Very difficult. But as far as 2026, it might be the year of the small and business, man, and I really hope so. I wish them all the luck, and I'm excited to kind of debut and test some of the things that they got coming out to see, is it worth your investment? Is it worth having your inventory to make you a more prepared citizen? So anyways, guys, good news about the entire trip. Got to meet some amazing folks. For folks that I did meet out there and came to say hi, loved meeting every single one of you guys. It was super fun, super awesome, and met a lot of awesome Christians, and really got to talk about the Lord and just fellowship with people. So that was an awesome time. Staying up super late talking about the Lord is always a good time. So, anyways, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I'm gonna get ready to go on my flight. But hopefully, if you guys see anything else that you were curious about that maybe I saw a shot, just shoot me a comment on the video or let me know. So anyways, guys, have a great day, and God bless.